going to be taking on Ambrose Vigil this weekend. Joining us right now, Chris Cortez. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's fight week. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I put in a lot of work. Had a pretty heavy camp, and I'm ready to go.
You're on a roll lately. The last three, I've been ringside for all, or cage side for all of them. Tell us about how momentum feels.
And it feels great to be able to finish my last three fights. The first two that I finished were first round wins, and then this last one is against a pretty good guy. He was ranked number 2 in New Mexico. We went all 3 rounds, and I was able to finish him in the 3rd round with a TKO. So being able to do that and go ahead and take his spot at number 2 in New Mexico, I'm feeling great right now.
You look at those rankings?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You look at the rankings, you think about them?
Not really. As of right now, it's not a big deal to me. I've always been the underdog. I wrestled back in high school, and I was always the underdog. And being able to, perform at the level I do, and show the fans a little bit of what I got, being the underdog, it's a little better. But now that I'm ranked, it's still good to be at the top.
Now tell us about the win over Brian Linares. Tell us about that submission. That was slick.
Which one?
The win over Brian Linares that started this 3-fight win streak.
Oh yes. Brian Linares, he had a lot of good kicks, so I knew going into that fight he was going to be throwing a lot of good kicks. So the game plan was to go ahead and take him down early in that fight, and he gave up his arm, and I was able to put in a Kimura and go and finish it early in the fight, 58 seconds into the first round. So that right there, it was good to because I was coming off a loss before that fight, so to be able to do that in the first round, that definitely pumped me up a little bit.
And then you follow that up going back to Clovis there for Art of One, and you got another quick TKO. How'd that feel?
That felt great as well. That guy that I fought, he was a good stand-up guy as well. So the plan with that guy was to go to the ground as well, and went ahead and mounted him early in the first round, and I think that one ended in a minute and 30 seconds with the TKO, ground and pound.
And you've capped it all off, or led up to right now, with the win in July over Francisco, and that fight, you could feel a point in the second round where I think it became your fight for sure, where the first round was kind of up in the air, that there was a sway in momentum.
Yeah, all of his fights, he finished, the fights that he won, he finished them by submission, so I knew his jiu-jitsu was pretty good. I knew his ground game was good. I wanted to test him out a little bit in the first round, fill him out. In the first round, he threw in some pretty deep arm bars and triangle chokes, and I knew at that point, I couldn't go back to the ground with him, so I kept standing him up, and at that point, in the second round, I stood him up, and I was landing some heavy hits, and then the third round, early in the third round, I let him up again, and went ahead and finished him off with the TKO.
We've seen your striking prowess, we've seen your submission prowess, and we've seen your submission defense. So, where do you feel you're at as coming together as a martial artist?
I'm still a young fighter. I've been training with Force of One here in Clovis, New Mexico, a small town in New Mexico. We've been putting in a lot of work. I've been training with them for a year now. But I've been putting in so much work that I feel like my progress is coming along pretty quick. So as long as I keep up the momentum and I keep working hard, I feel like there's going to be some big opportunities here pretty soon.
Been with Force of One for the last year. Where'd you start out at? When did you get into MMA?
Well, I wrestled in high school a little bit. I wrestled for XXIII High School in Lubbock, Texas, and I was an all-state wrestler back in Texas. And I boxed in my younger years, so putting that together and just coming in to Force of One, because I'm stationed over in Clovis, New Mexico in the Air Force. So Force of One is the gym to go to here in Clovis, New Mexico. And I put the boxing and the wrestling together, and then came to see them at Force of One. And Coach Eric Swan, he's been showing me a lot of jiu-jitsu and taekwondo, and I've just been running from there.
As far as your service, when did you decide you were going to do that?
Um, Early in high school, my junior year in high school, I figured I would go ahead and join the Air Force. To go ahead and serve my country for 6 years. I've been in 5 years now. Next year, 2018 of September, I'll be out. That'll be my 6th year, and I'll be putting my all into mixed martial arts at that point.
Is that the plan?
Yes, sir. It's definitely the plan. As long as everything keeps going the way it is, God willing, then I'll definitely be pursuing mixed martial arts full time. Late 2018.
What is it about MMA that's called to you, that's made that what you want to do for your life, your path?
I've always been an aggressive person as far as sports go. I've always liked all the contact sports, football, wrestling, and being able to boxing as well, and being able to actually put all that together and do it for a structured environment. That's my kind of thing. I like being able to do that. So mixed martial arts, it became a love of mine very quick.
The nickname's Dirty Texas. Where did you grow up?
Lubbock, Texas is where I grew up, and a little bit about that nickname, Dirty Texas. It's more of a way of life, more or less than a nickname. And the reason I say that is because we didn't have a whole lot growing up, so the dirty that's the dirty and Dirty Texas. So being able to quote unquote get it out the mud, out the dirt, grinding hard for everything that I've been able to accomplish. That's a little bit of my name, the nickname. And then of course Texas. I love my state. I love where I'm from. Even though I've had to move for the Air Force, Dirty Texas is me. That's who I am. So that's a little bit about that nickname.
Growing up out there in Texas, do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have three brothers. I have one older brother, two younger brothers, and I have a sister as well.
So you grew up fighting.
Yes. I was the second oldest, and me and my older brother, we're pretty close. And we've always been real competitive, and he's always pushed me, to give my all and everything that I've had. And us being so close, I kind of grew up in the shadow, kind of a little bit, the shadow of his. But he's always made sure that I was just as good, if not better, than he was. So big shout out to my big brother for that one.
How has that way of growing up, having the siblings, sounds like you guys are close, but also having that get it out the mud mentality, how has that affected you, growing up and now here and what you're planning to do in the future?
It's made me, who I am as far as strength goes. My mentality, my mentality basically in the cage anyway is kill or be killed. I go in there with basically a savage mentality, but controlled. So I go in there and give it my all, 110%, and I leave it in there and that structured environment, and that's what brings me my peace. So
you know your potential, your abilities, but has it even surprised yourself, the rapid growth you've shown in the cage over the last year?
It does surprise me a little bit. But then again, I look at all the hard work I put in, all the hard work my team has put in. My brother, my uncle, my family, they all support me. And they give all they have. So with their support, with God's love, with my faith, my hope, and of course my team Force of One, the sky is the limit, basically.
Earlier in this show, I talked with your opponent, Ambrose Vigil. He said the one thing he hasn't seen is an opponent that can match your intensity, and that's what he's going to have to do. What do you think about that kind of statement?
That's funny he says that, because I've seen his fights, and a lot of his fights have finished by decision. So I know he stays active. And as far as I know, he hasn't been finished yet. So he says that he has to match my intensity, but I'm only going to bring my intensity higher at this point because of how active he is. So the intensity is going to grow. This fight, I'm trying to finish this fight only because he hasn't been finished, and my last 3 fights have been finished, and I want to keep that going. I want to keep that road going.
So one, you want to keep your streak going, and two, it sounds like it'd be a nice little extra side trophy to be the first one to get the stoppage of Ambrose.
Definitely. And it'll look good as well for other opportunities in the future. And in December, I'm looking at a big fight with King of the Cage in Reno, Nevada, the World Championship for King of the Cage. So, this fight right here is definitely gonna give me one more step up. So I'm gonna give my all and leave it in the cage.
How do you push something like that? It's listed here already, actually, on mixedmartialarts.com about King of the Cage Amateur World Championships 4. You're going to be a part of it. How do you push that out of your mind to focus on this coming Saturday night?
Just taking it one fight at a time, because at this point I don't even know who my opponent would be for King of the Cage. I've done all my homework on Ambrose. I've put in so much film work with him, watching what he does. So my mind is definitely on this fight this Saturday, and I'm definitely going to finish this fight before looking forward to the next one.
What is getting into the cage like for you?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What is getting into the cage like for you? What is that moment like?
Getting into the cage, honestly, it's a peace of mind for me. As soon as they lock that cage, everything else in life doesn't matter at that point. It's MMA. It's the guy across from me. The guy across from me thinks he can beat me. I think I can beat him. And the mentality I have, it's either me or him, and it's not going to be me. So that's my mentality getting into that cage.
Chris Cortez, anybody that you needed to thank, shout out to?
I just want to thank God, first off. Without him, nothing is possible. I want to thank my family for all the support that they give, all my fans in Clovis and Lubbock and, Albuquerque, Santa Fe. I just want to thank everybody for watching me. I want to thank Force of One for allowing me to step in their gym and get the work in. And I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Before I let you go, I forgot. What does it mean? You guys are coming up here. It's a little bit of a drive. You got to head north from Clovis. There's a team of you. There's 4 guys on the card. What does that mean, a team trip and the whole experience of a camp, you guys together all having the same date?
And it's great training with those 4 guys those 3 guys that are getting ready to fight along with me. It's just great being able to train along with them. We got Roy Salcedo making his comeback, headlining the event, and he's hungrier than ever. So working with him, we got Quentin Carmichael that's making his comeback. He had a loss on his last fight, but he's definitely ready for this one. And then we got Matt Adhoc, who's been putting in so much work as well. And I'm blessed to be a part of their team, and we're all ready to go.
Chris Cortez, thank you for the time, sir.
Thank you.